Hey folks, it's Dale back at Manor Road Studio. Of course, I'm at the new studio here on East Main Street, but we'll keep calling it Manor Road Studio. I love my new brick wall. I hadn't gotten much hung up yet, but I got my Aloha Lounge, and my son put Elvis up here. So what the heck? Hey, before we get started, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. It's really important to continue getting a positive message out with subscriptions and people helping me where they can. I think I tell you all the time that these podcasts are totally raw, completely unedited. So this is it. If I screw up, I'm screwing up live. I was talking to some people the other day, and I asked them a question. I said, how is your faith, and I'm going to use that generically to include religion, spirituality, whatever it may be. But the question was, how has your faith changed from 20 years ago to now? For some of you, that might be 10 years ago to now, or 5 years ago to now, or even last year to now. But how has your faith, and again, that includes religion, spirituality, whatever your belief system might be, I'd just like to know what has impacted it over the years. Now, what I found interesting when I asked the folks this is really the responses that I got. Most people don't feel free to express what they really think, and they don't feel free to give themselves permission to explore what might be out there. They're trying to confine their, I guess, their belief system or their exploration to a box, a very small box at that, a box that limits them who they are, where they are, and especially where they want to be. The reason I asked the question, how's your faith changed? Because probably the most inauthentic part of us is what we claim to believe. Yet in the recesses of our mind, when we're still, when we're alone, when we've got time, we sit and we think about, is this real? You know, what really happens after death? Is there more to this life than what I'm getting out of it? And to me, the answer is an unequivocal, absolutely yes, there's so much more to life. I didn't understand that till several years back, and it really manifested itself more about 2.5 years ago when my cancer came back. At that point, I decided I was going to try to discover, I don't even know a good way to put it. I wanted to explore my mind about the possibilities of everything. Like, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in ghosts? Some people just go, oh, no, I don't believe in any of that stuff. Here's the things I don't believe in. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I probably do believe in some superstition, not a whole lot. Other than that, the bigger question to ask is, do you base your life off of fact, faith, fiction? And when you really boil it down, the old saying, extraordinary claims should require extraordinary proof. Yet we've got so many people out there telling us how we need to live our lives, how we should react, what we should believe. And it takes the concept of free will totally out of the equation. Because in some people's minds, you should believe what I tell you to believe. And if you don't believe what I tell you to believe, then your eternal soul is in jeopardy. Now, there's a little thing called Pascal's wager. And Blaise Pascal was a philosopher in the 17th century, I believe. And his wager was simply this: I'm going to live my life as though there is a God, even if I find out later in life that there is not a God. He said that's better than living my life as though there is no God, only to find out at the end of life that there is. And I think so many people want to hedge their bet, but I don't believe you're hedging that bet 100%. I know I wasn't. I was saying one thing, but my mind was thinking something totally different. And when I finally, and I mean finally, I embraced the authentic self, and I decided to start living my life from the inside out versus the outside in. And I started looking at the world through a lens of love. Some people say you have to have religion to have a moral or ethical platform or footprint. I totally disagree with that, because some of the most unethical things I've seen and immoral things I've seen come from people that claim to be religious, and religious Christians at that. So, people talk about secular humanism as though it's some kind of disease, but the truth is we know right from wrong. That's not a moral code that, God placed on us from birth, because if that were the case, so many people don't have the same code we've got. And one of the reasons, especially if you're in America listening to this, one of the reasons that our belief system is what it is purely where you were born. If any of you were born in other countries besides America, then you're most likely not an American Christian. You in Hindu, I think I heard one time there are 30 million deities. And I want to use the word worship because that's kind of the way we think of it. But the truth is, in India or Hindu, the word should be respect more than worship. Of course, there's Muslims, there's Mormon, there's Jehovah's Witness, there's all kind of branches of Christianity. And yet all of it gets so damn confusing that we don't even understand how to live or how to discover who we are. So this podcast is about self-discovery. You remember what ALIVE stood for: authentic, love, imagination, victor, and evolve. The sand in the hourglass, man, it keeps falling. It's not slowing down, it's speeding up. So your time for self-discovery has got to be now. It's one thing to respect how you treat other people, and I hope to goodness I treat everyone lovingly, with kindness. But you shouldn't always worry about what somebody else thinks when it comes to your own being. You need to discover you, and you need to live that authentic person that's hiding inside, because then and only then will you ever be able to meet your potential. So for those of you that sit back and go, well, I'm going to pray that God shows me the way, I hate to disappoint you, but you can pray all you want for that prayer, but God's not going to show you the way. Now, I'm not implying, and do not hear me say this, I'm not implying that there's not a God. I'm just saying that for you need to pave your own path to the future. You need to lay the bricks of stone, the bricks of gold. You've got to give yourself the chance to use your imagination and to be victorious in this life and to evolve in the greatest person you possibly can be. Hit that subscribe button again, by the way. Leave me a comment. I want some of you to find me on Facebook, Dale Childress. I'd love your feedback here. I enjoy doing these podcasts. Every day something new pops into my mind, and I just want to stop doing it. Well, you can't do podcasts all day, every day. But by the same token, I think so many people need to hear that you're okay the way you are. You don't need to change or conform to fit anybody's mold, and you don't need to fit your life into somebody else's box. It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time to break open the box you've been living in and let your flower bloom. All right. Until tomorrow, my name is Dale. Don't forget to subscribe and give me that thumbs up, and look forward to seeing you soon.